and welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the PiGosaur Cup at number 33. Welcome back to the round of 16. As unfortunately, we did have to leave our previous series mid-series, and I do have confirmation they are tied 1-1. So Inexorable did end up winning that game. They're tied 1-1. Honestly, again, that series could go either way. Like Mute versus Inexorable, that can go either way. That's why I jumped on that series to begin with. But for whatever reason, BattleNet is not being too cooperative, and unfortunately we did have some issues trying to stay in those lobbies. So we're going to be stepping out, stepping away, and hopefully those latency issues, those connectivity issues are resolved coming into our fresh series. As spawning in the top right hand corner of Leylines, we have our South Green Terran player, the Blue Terran, representing Team Little Fairy. It is Percival. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have the red Protoss player representing Team Little Fairy, as well as their teammates. It is Shameless. And if you're in the chat, predictions are now open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat. Now, earlier I did say that Mute versus Inexorable, that could go either way. Stand by that 100%. That's the reason why they're in the ace match. Here, Shameless and Percival, that can also go either way. I would not be surprised if this also goes to the ace match. So even though we weren't able to finish the previous series, I feel like we're quite lucky so far in the two matches that we have found ourselves in. Do think they're probably the best matches that we can hope for currently when it comes to the brackets. Can't get better than Inexorable Mutes and Percival and Shameless. And yeah, we'll see how this does turn out. Now, Percival, he has been peaking. He has been peaking in skill. He's been peaking in his play. And how is he peaking in this matchup? You know it, Bappy. 2 base all-ins. We should be seeing a double gas opener here into a faster factory, into a delayed TC. Similarly to Inexorable in the last series, we do expect to see hyper aggression out of Percival on 2 bases. He's been very successful with 2 base all-ins in TvP, and I would expect that to continue. Meanwhile, Shameless has also been peaking in skill. If you recall, Shameless actually qualified for Star Agora. He had a big performance and some big plays in the qualifiers, and he did qualify for Star Agora. Unfortunately, if you remember, he couldn't get his visa in time. Shameless, he could not get his visa in time, so he could not travel, he could not take part. So because that, Shameless, he was replaced by Geralt. Geralt did replace Shameless instead. So Geralt is going to be a part of Star Agora and Shameless will not. But Shameless is still an amazing player. He's still very good, very strong. He's like 18 years old or 19 years old. He's very young, and again, a bit of a newer face to the scene. He debuted at the start of 2024, so he's been around for over a year at this point and has been looking very good and very powerful. And we'll see how he compares, going for a robo opener. Very safe play here by Shameless. Okay, very safe play out of our Protoss player. Meanwhile, Shameless behind this 1-1-1 Tech Lab on the factory. Oh, actually, add-on swap. So Tech Lab from the racks into add-on swap, so a faster Cyclone into another add-on swap. So the racks only used for add-ons here. Both Tech Labs going and rushing into tanks, into Cyclones, into Banshees as well. Now, we just saw a scout. We just had hallucination. Shameless, he does confirm the Tech Labs. He knows. He's now aware, based on the positioning, how fast the Tech Labs are on both buildings. He can now piece together, this is Banshee play. Like, you could argue like, Tech Lab on a rack, sorry, Tech Labs on a starport, it could be Raven, not this fast. Like, if we're rushing into Tech Labs this quickly here into both the factory and the starport, you can predict that as to be Banshee play. Observer's on the way, so there will be detection. Shameless does zone away. Behind this, it is going to be again, robo opener into a delayed Twilight Council. From here, we can make safety immortals. There we go. Safety immortal production has begun. First of all, he does commit into another racks, into again the early tank production will Cyclone into tanks, and again, Percival, he's building up to move out. Shameless coming in with a rescout. This time with the Observer. We'll see if Percival does get eyes on this. We'll see if he does recognize the shimmer, and if he's able to deny. See Shameless here on the edge. Pokes in a little bit further. And does get eyes on the production. There we go. He does confirm Cloak, so he's aware it's researching. Hallucination goes in to confirm the 3-1-1 setup. Meanwhile, Reaper dips into the main. Banshee towards the natural. Stork's in position. We have an Observer. The first Observer is across the map. Second Observer is back home, but it was in the main, not in the natural. 3 probes do go down. Meanwhile, Shameless getting a third base. This is greedy. It was 3 gates. Okay, so 3 gates set up into a third. We have a 5 gate setup on the way. I do love that we're researching charge. Charge is a very, very strong way to shut down tank-based pushes. And speaking of, here it comes. So here comes Percival. A couple of boys are being pulled to repair. They can also set up bunkers. And this is spotted. Percival, he knows. At least he should know. For now, he's distracted. He is distracted. He's out of position. Again, the observer saw the move outs, but Shameless, I don't think he did. As he's bleeding out stalkers, army has arrived. Shameless late to react, late to respond. And it's too late. Yeah, it's too late to deal with this. The base is going to be denied. Massive pickoff. There's a cancellation. And Shameless, he had to engage with this ahead of time. He may catch a tank. Not bad. Does catch a tank, rotates back around, going for another. Barely gets that. Oh, barely doesn't get the second tank, and with that, Percival, he does it. Percival, he does it, breaks through, takes down the tank, pushes into the production. Charge lots are warping in, but again, where is the support for the army? Alassi tries to force a friendly fire. Zealots, they break through the Marines. Okay, the power of the charge lots. Oh my god, nice target firing here on the Stalkers. Oh, and it's going to be a very clutch hold. Alas, Shameless, he barely doesn't have enough. And again, imagine this if he had been able to engage ahead of time. He would have been able to save the base. Now he's stuck on 2 bases. Shameless now behind economically. And Percival, he's not done. He has a follow-up push. We have Stim on the way. We have Combat Shields on the way as well. +1. There's a 3rd TC. And again, Shameless, he had the tools to defend, he had the vision across the map, but he did not scout, or I should say he was distracted. He was distracted by the Banshees. Was distracted by Percival. And with that, Percival, he is ready to move out and hit that Stim timing. And I'll be honest, I don't know if Shameless can survive that. It's going to be a tough hold. Here comes the move out, here comes the drop. Maybe a triple drop towards the main. Ghost Academy's on the way. Percival, I mean, he's building up towards a longer game state. Now, can Shameless recover in this game? He can. He is behind, and there's a lot that he has to catch up on, but it's possible. It is possible here. As Percival, he does threaten a dive. Does boost in. Medevac does not go down. Ooh, and he does get behind the mineral line. Storm's coming in, but the army's already split. The army's already spread. With that, getting 4 probe kills. Takes down the Zealots. Ooh, nice feedback, sniping one of the medevacs. Likewise, Banshees, they hit the natural, and unless the first Banshees they were never dealt with, they get more damage. And this is getting out of hand. This is getting out of hand. This is getting out of control. That's target firing on the Sentry. Sentry goes down as well. Massive pickup. Oh no, the high temp, no! Gets high temp like it's 1. Oh god, he barely won't get 2. Thankfully, I spoke too soon. He gets 2 high Templar. And with that Percival, he has broken Shameless. Like, he already had an advantage after the early game, but now he just rallies in. Takes down the charge lots. With Storms, Shameless can try to hold on here, but there are just so many Marauders. They can take a Storm to the face. They like the Storms, Pappy. They take down all the Immortals. GG gets called, and Percival overwhelms. Percival takes game number 1. GG. Percival does take a lead in the series here, and now the pressure is on Shameless to bounce back, to recover. Let's go. Let us go. Also, no connectivity issues at all there in that game, so that does confirm my suspicions that it was the US East server that was just really unstable. So thankfully, we'll just do our best to avoid those kind of matches. US East is typically reserved for Americas versus Latin America, or also reserved for European versus the Americas as well, and Latin America. So I'll probably try to avoid those matches just to make sure I don't bother any of the players. But here we go. We're now getting into game number 2. Game 2 is going to be on Tokamak. Let's go. Oh, they like the storm. They do. They like the storm. Ah. Oh, no. He likes. So we're getting into our second game. Second game of the series. And this morning in the right-hand corner of Tokamak, we have the blue Terran player. We have the South Korean Terran representing Team Little Fairy. It is Percival. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the red Protoss player representing Team Little Fairy as well. Down in the series, we'll see if he can bounce back. We'll see if he can force the ace match. It is Shameless. Here we go. That's that facing off. As a reminder, for some greater context, they're going to be going up against the winner of a Clem and Mute. I have confirmation Mute did end up winning the series 2-1 over Inexorable. Again, it went all the way to the ace match, but did barely go the way of Mute in the end. Now up against Clem in a best of 3. We may just commit to these upper bracket matches. I also have confirmation as well. It's a little bit unfortunate. It's a little bit upsetting. But Shin, he was, I would say, one of the favorites to win the entire tournament. But Shin, he is not available today. So there was a walkover provided, and Shin will not be a part of the PiGosaur Cup number 33. Ah, feels bad, man. Feels bad. So no Shinj, no Shinj. Regardless, the event will go on. Behind this, once again, double gas opener out of Percival. Now, we saw that last game, this double gas opener, as the probe gets locked in. Yeah, the probe locked into the main. Depot is thrown down. And from here, Shameless is going to have to recall to save the probe, otherwise it will fall. But getting into this, again, double gas opener into a faster factory. Remember, last game, this Rax was only used to make add-ons, to make tech labs. It made a tech lab for the add-on swap into Cyclone into tank production. Then it made a tech lab for the starport for Banshee production as well. But I do not expect the same build. I don't expect the same build 2 games in a row. So from here, there we go. Reaper into a second Reaper. Already mixing it up, already not going for the tech lab. Or not rushing into it, I should say. So Percival, he is mixing it up. Reaper moves out. So he pokes in, but is going to be zoned away. Behind this, committing into extra Reapers, extra Hellions. There's going to be a reactor first here on that Rax. So again, not as tech heavy as what we saw previously. Going into a 1-1-1. Behind this, we do have our Twilight Council opener out of Shameless. So remember, last game was a Robo. This time, Twilight Council into Blink. And again, welcome to Tokamak. Tokamak is one of the more larger maps in the map pool, more macro-oriented, longer rush distance by ground. And you can be much more secure on 4 bases. Much more secure. Hellion does get into the middle line. Ooh, 1 volley goes off, 2 probes go down. 2 workers so far. Percival up. Ooh, getting a 3rd probe. Does get a 3rd worker. Getting a 4th probe in the main. Oh god, this is getting out of hand. Now, thankfully, this is not just a single Reaper. This was 2 Reapers and a Hellion, so almost a 1-to-1 trade. So this could have been a lot worse here for Shameless. What I will say, though, is that the Hellion Reaper doesn't scale well into a longer game. So Percival, he wanted to get rid of them. He wanted to throw them away. And with that, he trades well for himself. Back at home, 1-1-1, going into an early drop. Once again, Tech Lab on that factory, Tech Lab on the starport as well. But we prioritize the initial Cyclone drop first. Followed by, Cloak Banshee once again. Now, this is going to be delayed compared to the last game. Delayed Cloak Banshee, delayed tank production, earlier drop. The drop does hit faster. With those Cyclones, he can lock onto the Stalker. Speaking of, he's going for it. And the Stalker is going to go down. Brutal pickup, he gets 1. Now going for another, but he's going to be overwhelmed. Oh my god. Medevac does pull away. Very close. But the Medevac escapes, Cyclone as well. Nice trade here. Does throw away some marines for a stalker, minerals for gas. Not the worst trade. And again, all roads lead to Rome. We're still headed towards Cloak Banshee and tanks. Percival is building up. Observer moves out. And hopefully the Observer will confirm, and hopefully Shameless will be in position this time. No! As the Observer gets sniped. I was a little bit concerned about the Cyclone, but Percival, he did notice, which means Shameless, he will see nothing across the map. He has no idea what's going on. Now, thankfully, he does have another Observer, I believe, but the problem is that now Shameless, he will be tempted to move out with this Observer to replace the one they just lost. Okay, he's going to be scouting with the Adept. Does scout with the Adept. He's denied the scouts. He does see tank production, that's all he sees. We have our 2 Banshees on the right hand side. Now, you can see here that Shameless, he is relying on the Adept. He's aware that he is vulnerable to Cloak Banshee, so he keeps the Adept across the map, and he keeps the second Observer back home. So he will have detection. As the Adept is going to go down, so Shameless, he is going to be playing blind. Does shade away. Ooh, didn't actually. Adept did fall. Banshees, they hit the natural. Army somewhat in position. Stalkers, they dribbling into the main. They're keeping up. He gets 1 Banshee. He gets both Banshees. But again, this is for 9 workers. 9 probes go down. Ay, ay, ay. Brutal damage. And Percival getting ready for his move out. What do we have to work with? Stim is still on the way. 3rd TC. Not going all in. Not going all in. Not here. Not on Tokamak. Cyclone gets caught. Rallying into the natural. Main army moves out. And this is quite dedicated. 3 tanks. 3 tanks. This will hit with Stim. This might line up with combat shields across the map, like in the middle of the fight. But Percival, he will at least have Stim with this. Oh, runs into the charge lots. They do spot each other. Shameless getting in position at the same time, drop into the natural. Shameless, he reacts to the drop. He overreacts to the drop. And the 3rd is exposed. 3rd is exposed. Tanks, they siege up. Oh, they force friendly fire. Ooh, storms, they don't quite connect. Yeah, Shameless, a little bit trigger happy there. That was 3 storms on nothing. And without those storms, yeah, the base is going to be targeted down. High Templar likewise targeted as well. And yeah, that's just a brutal loss here for Shameless. Drop into the mid-line. Probe's going to be falling left and right. And Shameless cannot keep up. Not like this. Yeah, losing 14 workers. 14, 15 probes. Behind this Percival, he does expand. He'll take a 3rd. I feel like those storms are an example of ping. Of course, you know, game 2 here is on US West, so that's going to be a worst case scenario for Shameless, as opposed to game 1 and game 3. But yeah, it was very, very frantic with those storms. A better storm towards the end. Oh my god, okay. We're making up for it. Better storm towards the end at least. Likewise, Shameless collapsing in. Observer gets targeted down. Percival still just has a massive army. At the same time, gets across the map. Matchup going off. Percival does kite back, deals with the Zealots. Once again, nice storm here on the army. That's a juicy connection. There's the final storm. Final storm connects. Behind this, probes are still going down though. 10 probe kills. There's the recall. And Shameless, he will defend back at home, but he's down 20 workers. And even base count with Percival, he's behind. Shameless, he's behind. Economically, he is struggling hard. And Percival, there's no rush. From here, he can just chill, back off, build up, look to max out, so getting a 4th CC. Working towards upgrades, working towards ghosts, Vikings as well. And Percival is looking very comfortable. From here he moves out. We have the Bay on the way for Shameless, working towards Colossus, but again, Percival, he's gonna hit first. Gonna hit hard, takes down the Observer. Now there are storms, and Shameless, he's heavily relying on these storms to buy time. Speaking of, once again, nice storm. Percival, he just runs through it. But I mean, that's what Marauders are built for. They're built to tank the storm. Oh, that's another high tablet goes down. That's moving in. We'll take some storms. That's the final storm. And now just a Gateway Army. And the army just isn't there. The numbers aren't there. And Geovacharge does have one final storm remaining. Percival pushing towards left-hand side as well. There is a Colossus. There was a Colossus. Yeah, it was a Colossus. GG gets caught. Shameless, he's torn apart by the split push of Percival. And Percival, he will take the series 2-0, advancing on to the next round. GG. GG, well played, Percival. He will claim the series, will advance on. Again, a very strong showing here from Percival. Shameless had unfortunately just a really hard time keeping up with some of the movements of Percival. For example, game 1, Shameless had all the information he needed, but he was distracted by the Cloak Banshees, so he just wasn't ready at the third base. Everything just went south from there. Here, game number 2, we saw Percival being hyper aggressive with his early push, and of course was able to deal crippling economic damage. Shameless just could not keep up with that. The storms, initially the first half of the game, the storms were lackluster. We saw like 5 storms spent and maybe 1 storm connecting. Just really really frantic defense there from Shameless, and GG. GG, well played. With that, Percival does claim the series. And the question becomes, what's going on? Where are we at? Where are we at?